facing, and he knew shit could get bad for him. And of course, he prayed for the best, hope for the best. And he even had a few more mishaps in between with the baby mom and all that type of shit. But he got past all that.
Like trips to prison, trips to jail, getting arrested does not look good for you. And the fact that you've had similar charges in the past and, other videos and other arrests and mugshots, it just don't look good. It looks like almost like a repeat offender.
Domestic violence, his hands are registered. His hands are considered deadly weapons. Right. So he is going to be considered like assault with a deadly weapon as well, other than domestic violence.
Is this the end of Gervonta Tank Davis? With new legal troubles emerging, fans are beginning to question whether his boxing career is nearing its final chapter. Davis once admitted he needed therapy and seemed aware of his personal battles, but now he risks walking away from the sport without ever facing Devin Haney or securing other major showdowns. These ongoing legal issues threaten not only his legacy and public image, but could ultimately force a complete halt to a career once filled with promise.
For that. So this will be a violation of his probation, but he's a celebrity. Nothing's going to happen. It's going to get a slap on the wrist. He has money and stuff like that. Now, the question I have is this: what's going to happen with the Lamont Roach, rematch? Will that fight still go on? Do you get what I'm saying? Now, I don't expect Tank Davis fans to, they're going to brush it off like it ain't nothing, because that's what they do. They literally, a lot of them worship this guy. So, and I get it, I understand. However, will that fight still go on? That's probably why we haven't heard anything. I was listening to Blue Blood Sports TV, but then when I was listening to his video, guess what? I'm going to show y'all something. Now, some of y'all may say, oh, this is nothing. There's a podcaster that I watch all the time by the name of Ticket TV. I watch a lot of the big podcasters, right? Podcasts, right? I want y'all to see something. Y'all see this right here. Let me show y'all this. As you can see right here, Ticket TV is talking about this. And the title is this: Breaking News, Boxing Superstar Gervonta Tank Davis arrested for beating up women.
Beating up women. In professional sports, athletes are expected to uphold discipline both in and out of the ring. For Gervonta Davis, recent developments have once again put a spotlight on his personal issues, particularly those involving the mother of his child. As a public figure, even a dispute without physical violence can quickly escalate into widespread controversy. When a star appears to misuse their status or influence, it triggers strong reactions from fans and media. Because this situation has reportedly occurred more than once and involves close family, it has drawn serious public concern and renewed scrutiny of his behavior.
Bodily harm to her. Davis was arrested about an hour after the alleged incident and booked on a domestic violence battery charge. Jail records show he's still in police custody. Davis is scheduled to fight Hector Luis Garcia in a much anticipated boxing match on January 7th in Washington, D.C.
Well, that's not happening. I mean, it's not gonna happen, bro. He's not gonna fight. That fight probably canceled. The fight's gonna cancel, and his sponsors. If he's fought, I mean, you can't find him guilty right now, but I'm assuming he's gonna get a great lawyer. He has money.
Do we know who the woman is? Because I saw some headlines that said baby mama. And I know what we just read didn't it wasn't specific.
That's what I thought it said too. Yeah.
Like yesterday, right? Yeah. When the reports came out.
And that's not even just a domestic violence. His hands are registered. His hands are considered deadly weapons. Right. So he is going to be considered like assault with a deadly weapon as well, other than domestic violence. That's facts. And that never goes good for a boxer, ever.
For it to be domestic violence, though, one thing that Flacco taught me in Suspect was that if it says domestic violence, then that's somebody that you were in a relationship with.
Over the years, Gervonta Davis has faced several situations that have tested both his reputation and his ability to remain at the top of the sport. Previously, strong financial backing and legal representation helped him navigate these challenges with minimal damage. This time, however, the stakes feel higher as the issues continue to resurface. When past incidents are considered, the system tends to respond more strictly, increasing the likelihood of harsher consequences. Now, even some of his most loyal supporters worry that this situation may not be as easy to overcome and could permanently alter his career.
Couldn't come at a worse time for Tank. Of course, he's chasing that rematch with Lamont Roach and that big money Netflix fight with Paul. and this case could potentially cancel both of these fights. For the Roach rematch, it's just kind of being assumed that this fight is happening in mid-August. Everyone has seemed to acknowledge that it's happening, yet there's been no official announcement. Why has there been no official announcement? Well, maybe they were/are waiting to see what happens with the case. They have known that this was gonna probably come out for the last month, so maybe they were either bracing for impact or hoping it could be all sorted out. But we're now about a month out from the proposed rematch, and time is running out. Every day that goes by, it looks less and less likely, and the news today certainly won't instill any hope. Even if the rematch does happen, the conditions are about as bad as they can get for Tank. In what might be the highest pressure fight of his career, he won't have a complete camp and would have legal proceedings hanging over his head. Combine this with the fact that he seemed a bit rattled and emotional after the draw, it's either a combination for a great performance or a combination for an absolute train crash.
Moments like this can serve as a wake-up call, and many believe this could be a major turning point in Gervonta Davis's life. Challenges can inspire growth, yet concern is rising that he hasn't truly learned from past mistakes. Despite everything he has faced, many observers feel there's been little change in his mindset or behavior. The repeated nature of these incidents only strengthens that view. Without a deliberate effort to shift his perspective, these ongoing issues could impact more than just his boxing career. They may also harm his personal life and relationships beyond.
And he knew shit could get bad for him. Of course, he prayed for the best, hope for the best. And he even had a few more mishaps in between with the baby mom and all that type of shit. But he got past all that. But that shows his maturity level too, because he kept his head together through all that shit. You know what I mean? So here we at the finishing line with the trouble. I just want him to finish smart and, you know what I mean, and do what he gotta do. Get what he gotta get, you know what I mean?
Because the current charges are tied to previous incidents, Gervonta Davis's legal situation is becoming increasingly complex. When similar accusations arise more than once, courts are often pushed toward a tougher response. Some legal analysts believe the judge could impose stricter penalties if the evidence is strong. His past history may also reduce the likelihood of leniency that once worked in his favor. In professional sports, legal issues reach far beyond the courtroom. They can seriously damage an athlete's public image, weaken sponsorship support, and jeopardize future opportunities.
Boxing champion Gervonta "Tank" Davis has been arrested and charged with battery in South Florida. Police allege the Baltimore native assaulted his ex-girlfriend during an argument on Father's Day in Doral, Florida. Davis was arrested and booked by Miami Beach police, and a judge set his bond at $10,000. This is the latest in a long line of run-ins with law enforcement for the World Boxing Association lightweight champ. In 2023, Davis pleaded guilty to 4 traffic offenses in connection with a hit-and-run that injured 4 people in Baltimore. He spent more than 6 weeks in jail after a judge found out he was serving out his home detention at the Four Seasons Hotel Baltimore and a penthouse condo in Locust Point. Davis has also previously faced allegations of domestic violence, though none of those cases against him have resulted in convictions. We have more on this story on thebaltimorebanner.com.
Many in the boxing world feel that the nonstop pressure and high expectations of professional competition are beginning to take a serious toll on Gervonta Davis. The intense training, constant media attention, and need to remain mentally sharp leave little room for emotional balance. For a young athlete juggling fame and personal challenges, the weight of the spotlight may be influencing his choices. Supporters believe that stepping back from the ring or receiving the right guidance could help him regain stability, allowing him to manage both his career and personal life in a healthier, more productive way.
Gervonta Davis just got arrested for domestic violence, but this isn't the first time either. Could this have anything to do with what boxing does to your brain? Let's talk about it. So Gervonta Davis has been caught up in legal trouble and domestic violence allegations multiple times over the past few years. See, boxers take repeated hits to the head, not just during their big fights, but while they're sparring throughout training camp as well. Over time, that can cause CTE, a brain disease that messes with memory, emotions, and can cause aggression. CTE can show up in the form of slurred speech or even mood changes. So honest question for y'all is, do you think Gervonta Davis' violence outside of the ring could be linked to CTE? Is this a hidden cause of...
Public opinion often forms around repeated behavior, and Gervonta Davis' situation is no different. Many fans and analysts have voiced frustration over the recurring issues in his personal life. Their concern goes beyond each incident. It centers on his continued involvement in situations that previously brought trouble. From a career standpoint, personal relationships that repeatedly generate negative headlines or legal complications can jeopardize future fights and sponsorship deals. Supporters hope Davis begins making more thoughtful choices, not only to protect his public image, but also to secure long-term stability and success in his boxing career.
You got everything in the world, all the money, mega fights, you got all the money, you never have to worry about anything ever in the rest of your life. Why are we doing this? Like, I understand he's from a tough background and everything, but at some point you gotta grow up. You arguably the biggest name in boxing with all these people looking up to you, especially kids looking up to you, talking about, I want to be like Gervonta Davis. And this is what they see. I don't know what went down, but I see the news article and I just can't support Tank no more. My favorite damn fighter. One of them besides Terrence Crawford. But I don't know what y'all think about the whole situation. I'm just like, man, what are we doing? I guess we're not going to get the Lamont Roach fight now. I don't know. I know he was on probation before and it was going to be another great fight. And it's just crazy, man. But what do y'all think about this? And you guys think he actually did it? And are you guys still going to support Tank after this?
Gervonta Davis has often expressed his desire to be more than just a champion in the ring. In earlier interviews, he spoke about wanting personal growth and becoming a steady, positive presence in his child's life. At times, he even hinted at retirement, suggesting he might prefer a quieter, more peaceful lifestyle outside the spotlight. While he hasn't revisited those comments lately, his current circumstances may push those thoughts forward again. Whether he continues fighting or chooses to step away, the decisions he makes in the coming months will heavily influence how he is remembered, not only for his accomplishments as a boxer, but for the kind of man he struck.
What's good, YouTube? Crown Jewel from Crown Jewel Boxing, back with a gem. Checked out the press conference yesterday. Watched the Rise podcast. 2 days ago, watched the Rise podcast response to it yesterday. And I just have to say, I see a lot of people think that, Tank is bluffing with the retirement talk. Could be. I doubt it, though. And I'm going to tell you why I doubt it. When he talked about wanting to seek therapy and the person he has to be in order to be the fighter that he is and wanting to be a softer person, for his daughters, and wanting to seek therapy and become a better person and be with his children and lead a limelight, it seemed like a lot of emotion and passion in that. He seemed like he really meant what he was saying. There's a lot that comes with not only boxing, because, all fighters deal with certain things with being a boxer, physically and mentally. But he has to deal with being a celebrity, an international star on top of that. And I can't even imagine that pressure. So, things get old, your whole life gets scrutinized, no matter what moves he makes, it's going to be accepted by some and, ridiculed by others. And some people grow tired of it. Living a public life ain't for everybody. He's been tremendously successful, whatever he decides to do. I wish him well. I think we need to, watch this Lamont Roach fight closely because we've seen this in the past when Mike Tyson talks about his heart no longer being in it. Or, you heard Buddy McGirt recently come out and say, the fire left him, while he was in camp in the middle of a run. I mean, it happens. And, we don't know how it's going to affect him as a fighter. I would hope, he could find it in himself to be motivated and get prepared, and be the best version of himself. Because, as a Tank fan, I don't want to see him in the ring in any other capacity. If he can't bring himself to be the best version of himself, then I think he should walk away. But regardless of what he decides to do for people like myself.
Analysts are now openly questioning whether Gervonta Davis's long-term relationship with the mother of his child is truly healthy for either of them. Over the past 4 years, their involvement has been connected to multiple public legal incidents, creating ongoing instability in both of their lives. When a relationship repeatedly results in conflict and unwanted attention, it raises concerns not only for family members, but also for advisors and career teams. Many in the boxing world believe that if these issues continue, distancing himself from the relationship may be the healthiest option for everyone involved.
Boxing sensation Gervonta Davis has been arrested on domestic violence charges. And this is not the first time that he has been here. I'm not sure if it's with the same young lady. Her name is Vanessa, who he shares a daughter with, and I believe she was carrying another child with him. This situation is just sad because, you know, when you're a boxer, your hands are legal. So you're not supposed to be getting into brawl fights with anybody unless you're in the ring, because his hands are considered legally a weapon. And if you ever seen him fight, you know that this boy hits hard. So him hitting a female, it's like, whoa. But yet again, we don't know people's situations. Even though it's never okay to hit a female, we just don't know what happened between these two folks. I think that after this, he should just leave that girl alone, because if this is with her again, this is the second time that he gets arrested for domestic dispute with the same girl. And I just don't think that they should be together. Somebody that's with you is supposed to bring the best out of you, not the worst. If you're constantly in a situation where you're arguing, fighting, putting your hands, you feel like a monster with somebody, then maybe that person, you shouldn't be with them. But prayers for Gervonta, because even though he is in the wrong, you know, we don't know what wars, what demons people are fighting in the inside, and you could clearly see that he was very upset. If there's more information on the story, I will be relating, but this just sucks for Gervonta, honestly. It's like, he has it all. The money, the fame, biggest boxer in the game right now, but he's always in legal problems, and especially for domestic issues.
With the upcoming hearing approaching, many in the boxing community are watching with rising concern. The repeated nature of these incidents has cast a serious cloud over Gervonta Davis's professional image. In a sport where reputation and conduct are essential for securing major bouts and sponsorships, ongoing legal issues can create long-term obstacles. Each new development further shapes how the public views him, making it increasingly difficult to separate his in-ring ability from his actions outside it. The judge's decision in this case could carry lasting consequences.
And I don't know any of the details. This is the information that is available to us as of this recording. So again, I'm saying unfortunate news because Tank Davis is scheduled to fight, and he's scheduled to fight in 11 days, and it's almost midnight my time, Pacific Standard Time. So that means really 10 days. Does this affect in any way? Will this affect Tank Davis and his fight? You know, I don't know. I don't know all the details, but we've seen stuff like this happen before in the past. And since it's so fresh, today being December 27th, I don't think it will impact or, you know, postpone his fight or anything like that, because it'll be too quick to go to trial or anything like that. However, some would wonder, could this affect him mentally, right? You left Mayweather Promotions, you're your own boss, doing your own thing. So this is your first foray into that. You have a difficult Olympian in terms of Hector Luis Garcia that you're getting ready to fight, a little bit taller and bigger than you. And, you know, now you have something in the background. This, I can't say it's news to Gervonta Davis in terms of him having little run-ins, because he had a run-in with some type of vehicular hit and run.
In the days leading up to his latest controversy, Gervonta Davis was active on social media, sharing posts that hinted something significant was looming. His tone seemed reflective, almost as if he anticipated the challenges ahead. Some fans viewed his post as a way to express his emotion. That's it for today's video. Stay tuned for more updates, and we'll catch you in the next one.